What's going on, guys? Cage here again, this time showing you how to giving you tips mostly for Ultimate 4. My partner did a good chunk of the work, but I'm gonna be throwing a bunch of tips. I played this mission a lot of times, died so many times, and I know a good chunk about it, so I'll fill you guys in on this. So whoever wants to kill Marbus is the one that's actually gonna host the mission, and my partner actually is the one who's gonna kill him, so he hosted. And I would advise both to take claws, double claws, because wave 2 has 2 regents of the masks. It'll just make the process a lot easier to fight. Yes, they are weaker. It takes more time to kill a lot of stuff. But at the same time, it'll make the Doku fights a lot easier. And when we get to those, I'll explain that. Since the mission's about to start, but let me talk a little bit about it. Wave 1 is going to have a total of 4 of those, the Reapers, and then you're going to have a couple Brutes, and then a bunch of the Sliders. I don't know the exact count for the Sliders, but I know the Brutes are usually 8. Okay, so the mission is about to start. I'd also recommend to shut that menu off on the far right with the scroll contract. It serves no purpose and gets annoying. Okay, so from the start, you're going to split ways. You want to kill them either with an Azuna drop or the claw variation of the Azuna drop, which is running triangle. Or now, right here, see what I just did is 2 things. I instantly landed and hit triangle, and it made my guy go directly to the body and obliterate it instantly. And then also the self-destructing guy, anything that self-destructs like these guys, if you hit them once, they will stop the self-destruct, which is safe. Now the ways I would recommend to fight these guys is the Azuna drop, which is probably the safest way. Or another way would be to do a wind path, or a wind path to jump over them, and then when you land, throw 1 shuriken and then do a flying swallow. Or you can just go to them, throw 1 shuriken, do a flying swallow. Either way works. Now there should be 1 slider left now, and they seem to like to hide behind the brutes, which is annoying. Now here I do a double wind path and then a flying swallow. Now, the mistake you see here, what I did, you guys should not be doing this. I should not have been charging an ultimate technique because my partner's the one who started to kill him. Now, the result of that, I missed my technique, which pretty much wasted my ultimate technique, which I should have saved for the first Reaper I fight. Okay, so now as my partner pretty much wrapped up the brutes, we're each going to take 1-1. There's a total of 4 of these guys, 2 simultaneously. Should usually hit them, I would say 4 times. That'll break the glass. Okay, so there's a couple ways I'd like to fight these guys. It's either of 2 things. You stay the medium distance or the further distance away, so that he does throw the scythe, and then you just do running triangle like that, except don't get hit. But the other way would be to pretty much prompt him to do the stomp, and then you can either do this triangle, or triangle works also, or you can do triangle, pause, triangle. There's times where you can just loop him a bunch of times, but that's a luck-based ratio. And also, another way would be once he does the stomp, you do forward triangle, 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 and it's a good move, but at times it can leave you vulnerable because he's a weird enemy and he automatically switches sometimes. Now this right here, when he does this move, I would not advise attacking. I would actually advise shooting the bow or so. It is a bit risky, especially since he did the glowing scythe move, which is a grab. And also, if your health is low like mine is right now, I'd advise not to use your Nimpo and just save it up. Save it up because the Ultimate Ninja missions, your health, every piece of your health counts. Okay, so now I do die here and my partner will come to revive me. But the moment he revives me and he goes back and kills his guy, he's gonna get an ultimate technique, which would have saved a lot of trouble if I didn't waste it earlier. This guy would have technically been dead. So yeah, just a little pointer. Don't know why I paused there, but don't do that. Every time you stand still is also a vulnerability, especially on these guys. Okay, so there you go. He finishes him off. Now that just completes wave 1. Wave 2 consists of 10 rocket launcher guys. The guy who's standing by the door is going to be shooting them. And 2 Regents of the Mask. Now what you want to do here, depending on what position you are, if you're at the shooter, you just stand there and spam your bow shoot. I'd also like to say, I would, as a shooter, just tap L2 over and over and over again, just to see if the guys spawned, and then when they spawn, he'll automatically target them. Now, as the one that's controlling these guys, just spin around, just run around in a circle like I am right here. Once my partner is done, he will actually come and take one of the Regents away. Now about the tip I gave earlier about when you do an Azuna drop and then you land and then just hit triangle as you land and instantly obliterates him, obliterates the guy or so. Only use that at times where you know there's no beam or anything that is going to hit you. And another thing I forgot to mention a bit earlier, if you're going to finish off the sliders, like obliterate them, I would only do it when there are no brutes around. It's a tip I should have gave earlier, but there you go. Because I can't tell you how many times I've been grabbed out of obliteration from the brutes, and the brutes do massive damage from the grab. And trust me, by the time you get to the ender with the last waves, you're gonna need all the health you can get. Now there is a tactic I developed because I've died so many times in this mission, got bored and decided to experiment. It's how to juggle the Regent of the Mask, and I'll actually have it in the description. The video does not have commentary, but I do have written tips in there, so it should help you out. If you have any questions, just leave me a comment and I'll try to fill it in if you want. But you'll see the full tactic here. That was just the basic one. I do have a longer version of that, 210 hits. It'll come in a few minutes. I mean, I will go over it just a little bit. It's pretty much you want him to be roughly close to you when you do the launcher, and the way it ends up the juggle is you're gonna have to be relatively under him, and then you delay your square when you're in the air, and then you throw shurikens, and then when you land you shuriken, shuriken, shuriken. Now you want to start this combo square, alternate square and circle when he's about claw range away, meaning like you can hit him with your claws. Like when his body pretty much, I'd probably say torso, is around where your claws are when you attack. And then just keep alternating. It's a rhythm. Once you understand the rhythm, you can get it fine. This is my completion video, but I did have another video that did not record, a playthrough that I got 240 hits, but he glitched out for some odd reason and I couldn't continue it, which I probably would have been able to finish him off easily. It's a specific rhythm. Once you get the rhythm, it's not too fast and not too slow. And you'll be fine. And also, you'll only be able to get a Nimpo. By doing this tactic, and I would highly advise mastering it. I mean, not for just stylish points, but it looks good, and also it gives you a full Nimpo gauge, and a full Nimpo gauge will give you health. Sure, not much on these difficulties, but these difficult missions like these Ultimate Ninja ones. But every health bit counts. Now you probably see from my view, the Regent looks retardedly glitched. He just stands there, and he's gonna be running a little bit in his place, which is retarded like that. Getting close to the end of wave 2. Once my partner finishes them off, wave 3 is actually relatively simple. Okay, so now each of you guys are going to take a position, one on the right, one on the left, across from each other, like we are right here. There's going to be 2 Dokus. And this is why I recommend the claws, because you can kill him really easy, and it's kind of like a loop. Now you see what I'm doing here is running triangle, running triangle, running triangle, triangle. Now repeat it every time his back is facing you when you land. Best way to really fight him is to have a flat wall, like where the door is. If you have them like lined up like horizontally, it'll be such an easy fight because you'll land on the other side and you won't even have to really position much. Now I'd advise you to do the running triangle triangle only after specific moves. His grab move, his move where he throws his blade, and the fire breath. I would not advise doing it after anything else. Now this is the fire breath. Okay, so now he died. I mean, that was relatively simple. I even killed him before my partner killed his first one. It was pretty easy. Now, when one dies, the next two, one at a time, is gonna spawn from here where he spawned right now across. So pretty much from the starting point where we fought the first two, shift them both back about 3/4 of the map. Now that dashing move, he has got 2 variations. He's got one that's 1 strike and another one that's 2 strikes. The one that's 1 strike, you can just run away, but I tend to just do jump shurikens and then triangle. And this is why you don't want to be fighting close to your partner, because you're seeing it a little bit. When I do the running triangle, it's going to go directly to his. And then we're gonna end up switching targets now, because my guy went directly to his. Notice how I didn't attack him there, and attack him actually after this move too. Okay, so now he's dead. Okay, the wave 3. Okay, this is probably the trickiest part. It's gonna be Alma and then 1 Doku, and then once the first Doku's dead, another one will spawn, which is on the opposite side right here. There's two ways to actually do this wave, but we chose to do it this way. One way would be to kill Alma first, which is a bit tricky because Doku will be throwing his blade all over the place. So it's either kill Alma and then have the person who killed Alma kill both Dokus, or kill both Dokus and then you can deal with Alma. Now if you're gonna go the route we did, which is the, kill Alma second after the both Dokus are done, you're gonna have to make sure you decide who's gonna be the dodger and make sure he knows how to dodge her pretty well. My partner already chose to be the one to kill both, so I was the dodger. Okay, so when she does her purple orbs, the way I dodge them, there's actually a couple ways you can dodge these. One way would probably just to dash, tap L1, dash, 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 and not hold on L1 and then move the stick. It's more of run with the stick and then hit L1, keep mashing L1, and he'll run fast. Right, left, right, left. Or you can do it an easier way, which is jump. Do run, jump, left, run, jump, right, and that'll dodge it. Majority of times, you won't get hit. Okay, just make sure you pay attention also to Doku. And actually the guy who's fighting Doku, make sure he pays attention to Alma as well, because these orbs tend to target your partner as well, so just be careful with that. But if you keep her on a side specifically, like how I did for the entire match, you shouldn't have a problem with your partner actually getting hit. Okay, you can block that. I do tend to dodge it. The controller did not respond at that current time, so... Okay, so now that my partner actually killed both Dokus, he should have roughly half a bar of his meter for the Nimpo. Now what he's gonna do, the one who killed both Dokus is gonna have to kill Alma. And the reason being is to build up a Nimpo bar. This is actually wave 4. I did not mention that. The two Dokus and Alma. But there's actually a second part to this afterwards, and I'll get into that soon. What you want to do is, you have one person distract her. You want to wait for her to do that pillar move. And then when she does that pillar move, your partner that she's not concentrating on, which is pretty much the other player, will do a flying swallow once she lands. Right here, he's gonna... Okay, so now on my screen it looks retarded. She's halfway in the ground, but I am pretty sure on my partner's screen she's knocked down. So the combo to do when she's knocked down, and this works with the dragon sword and the claws: square, triangle, square, square, and just repeat this. Do not hit an extra square afterwards, or it'll break the loop. Okay, so now that she's dead, this last wave is Alma and Marbus. The one who's gonna be distracting Alma should be on this corner right here, this side. Now we do get lucky with this completion because I actually ended up dying in Marbus glitches for a good thing for once. And I'll show you that in a little bit. No, my partner had other plans as far as using the Nimpo. Normally you'd use the Nimpo to shoot Alma, because once you shoot Alma with the Nimpo, it's 100% guaranteed stun, and she cannot recover from the loop. And I forgot to mention this earlier, but she actually recovers from the loop sometimes. If you get the loop going, 9 times out of 10 she won't break it. And be careful not to stay too far like I did, which is bad, or she'll go after your partner. Gladly my partner actually switched positions, but now things are getting out of hand. Okay, so now I died, and Marbus decided he wants to take a break, so he's just gonna stand there, frozen. This gives us a chance to deal with Alma. And I'm pretty much distracting Alma for my partner to kill. And for some odd reason, my luck is always bad with her loop. It just never seems to work, and she always breaks it, so my partner ends up killing her. So I mean, it looks weird from this view that she's actually halfway in the ground when she's supposed to be on her knees. And I didn't even hear her fall or anything, but she is getting looped, and you can also see she's taking damage because she's getting green blood stain on her. And kill her while Marbus is chilling over there. And my partner actually decided to use the Nimpo on Marbus because he's a bigger threat in some sense. Because he's more of a difficult opponent. But once you understand him, he's not so bad. Now, there's a couple of things I want to clarify about Marbus. The way this game is designed, there's no health bars, of course, so you know when an enemy is half dead or close dead by the blood stains. Now, if Marbus has 50% health or less, he's going to have a blood stain, and you can look at his left shoulder and you'll see a blood stain there, a big blood stain. When he's above 50%, he won't have that. And here actually I actually thought my partner died because he had like 0.0001% health, but he actually was alive, so I was gonna actually rush and revive him. But anyway, as far as the topic, as far as Marbus, when he's at above 50% health, this dive, he will delay it and then he'll dive. When he's under 50% and under, he will do it instantly. So I would advise to dodge it by running and then tapping L1. It's right when he does his sound effect, and that's pretty much it. I guess I'd say I hope he'd glitch the way he glitched for me to help you guys out. That's Ultimate Ninja 4. This is Cage. Hope this helps you guys out. Take care, guys.